welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Thursday, I think. Yes, we are Thursday because today I had all this spiel about Wednesday. So yeah, we are Thursday, January the 7th, 2015 and 16. God damn it! Only took me 7 days to have my first mistake about the new year. Anyway, yeah, we are in 2016 and I'm currently working on cleaning up a DBF file that I got from OpenStreetMap because I'm currently doing, as part of a class in a course maybe in university, I'm working on the way you can I don't know. Go through Japan by train, and because there are various shape files for the railways, but also the stations. The stations are all I downloaded the shape file about the places, and the one with the points. I wanted to avoid the one with the points because there's like 580,000 points registered in OpenStreetMap for Japan. I discovered that the Japanese people are very, very much, precise about some stuff, like crossings. There were like 40,000 crossings registered. The two most active periods for registering crossings were July of 2013 and the end of 2015, with around 8,000 each. Like between 2008 and 2012 were like 3,000. And then, I'm probably not 3,000, but yeah, in the last couple of years it was like 20,000 registered, and I'm like, why? What? I mean, I understand the need for you to put, the convenience stores on the map. I mean, crossings, they are important. You gotta know where to cross the street, because there's some really crowded streets in this country. But yeah, I discovered that a lot of bakeries have French names, which is kinda surprising, but not that much really. But there's one that's literally called Allez France. Like, why? What? Are you French, or did you just watch a football match? So anyway, yeah, there are like 18,000 convenience stores, and like 8,000 of those are 7-Eleven. I thought that Lawson was the brand with most stores in Japan. Turns out it's not. So yeah, I wonder if I have to calculate the distances by ferry. Because obviously there are some islands of the archipelago that are going to be left off, like a couple of islands that are being in the middle of a controversy between Japan and Russia in the north, or the Okinawan Islands in the south, because the only way to go there is by boat. I'm not entirely sure about that one, so don't quote me on this. Or by plane. And by plane I'm like, yeah, but no. I mean, there's a reason why I chose by rail. It's because planes are so much faster. It's gonna fuck up the whole thing. Because I would obviously need to make a route that just goes around Japan for it not to cross the railways. At first I wanted only to do how much time it takes to go from, for example, Tokyo to various how would you say that, to various stations from with the Shinkansen, the bullet train only. But it turns out, yeah, I'm still pondering whether I still I will calculate with transit in town, like not bus because it's on the road, so yeah, but tramway or the metro or the subway, because at the end of the day it's rail. I'm making this way too complicated. Anyway, yeah, sometimes you're being overconfident. That was me yesterday when I was making the pasta, because I usually make pasta with the tomato sauce, and with this tomato sauce I usually put in some salt and some garlic, because it adds a little bit of taste. Except apparently I totally forgot both the garlic at home, but also the film, because on the pasta, if you don't want it to go bad after only a night, you film it, or let it dry. I mean, I don't use butter because I'm not a fucking mongrel like those Parisians who are like fucking wildlings, put butter on everything. I mean, in sandwiches it's a pretty okay. It adds taste to the baguette, but in pasta for a steak, what are you doing? I mean, I don't even use olive oil for my meat, because I mean I don't need that grease in my life. Grease. Yeah. But I will put olive oil in my pasta, because if I don't, well, it's just a blob of pasta. So I totally forgot that. So I had to, it's when you're short-sighted. It gives you a lot of opportunities to go out, really, because you forget that you forget stuff at places, and you forget if you have bought stuff and if you haven't. So anyway, yeah, I was because it takes a lot of time to clean up a database with a lot of stuff that you don't need. I mean, as of now, I'm letting in bus stops, ferry stops, because I still am pondering whether I keep some ferries. Like, I know that I won't keep the ferry that's in Hakone, because I mean, it's I'm just crossing a lake. But there's some ferries. I'm not sure that they kept the train line that goes from Honshu to Shikoku. I'm currently looking for it in the other database, for the railway database. But yeah, so far I've out of the nearly 600,000 points I had, I now have a little over 450,000, which means that I've eliminated like I don't know, 130,000 approximately. It's more like 150 and 25,000. But anyway, yeah, I'm very far from being done with that, because yesterday when I only searched from stations and I inverted the selection, I had when I only searched for stations, uh, it had fire stations, something that I don't need because no trains stop there. It's not a train station; it's a fire station. I like firefighters, but it's not it's not what I'm looking for. So yeah, I've elaborated methods of eliminating stuff that are so complicated. Like at one point, I eliminated crossings by the timestamp. So yeah, with only the stations, I had around 14,000. You know, so like even if I keep the bus stops, I'm gonna look for bus stops and just how much bus stops there are in Japan, because they are classified under both bus stops and bus crossings, bus stations. So for bus stops, I have 42,554 bus stops, which is approximately 10% of what's left. But yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna, oh wait, no, I thought there was JR financial. So I'm gonna just skip everything that's bus and the ferries, but I mean it's just the first stage of the cleaning stuff. I'm pretty sure yesterday I had tried to go all the way and remove everything. So that was like removing 560,000 features. Turns out my computer, I did a silly. It's on me. I was like, I'm going to be, a cheeky little shit and click various times. And at one point, QGIS didn't respond, so it's kind of on me. You see, there are 4,623 fire stations in Japan. According to OpenStreetMap, there might be more, which means that it's 1% of the whole thing right now. So it's kind of annoying. Anyway, yesterday while watching I decided that fuck everything. I'm gonna watch my own videos before uploading them because I couldn't think of a good title. I've noticed that. Last couple of days, I mean the last week or so, and even during the holidays, I was like, what am I going to talk about? Not really that. How am I going to title my video? And what am I going to put in the description besides, I fell asleep 10 minutes after stopping the recording, so there's that. But yeah, while I was thinking about something, I noticed that now you can put some music. I don't know if it fully replaces the audio or if it kind of does its best to blend in, or if it's just, hey, I'm gonna put a bunch of music, and it's public domain music. So, but you can also pick music from your phone. Which is a bad idea because pretty much everything that I have on my phone is copyrighted or not Creative Commons. So yeah, but at one point I will try to do a very short video weblog and talk about maybe one thing and put so maybe like Beethoven or in the Hall of the Mountain King. In the background, if it's in the background. If it's not, well, shit, I'm fucked. But I found that a very interesting thing. Yeah. Oh, also, while I was at the bookstore, I decided, hey, what the hell? I'm not gonna buy only Food Wars, well, Shokugeki no Soma, the volume 4, because I'm gonna look like a huge perv. I mean, I already have a beard that's making me look like one, that making me look like one, a terrorist, or two, a child molester, if not both. On this day where we kind of remember last year's attacks at Charlie Hebdo, and I think also at the Hypercacher. It's kind of in bad taste to talk about terrorism, but there's been an averted attack in the Arab quarter of Paris, just in front of just at the police station. There was this dude with a huge butcher knife, who apparently got killed, and he had a paper promoting ISIS and lots of terrorist thoughts. So yeah, that was kind of heavy. So anyway, yeah, I didn't want to look like a fucking perv buying a manga which has on its front cover a girl with who's supposed to be a cook, but obviously doesn't give a fuck about spilling oil on her body, as she is wearing pretty much only a bikini with the flag of the United States, and behind her a dude with a huge pompadour. So yeah, that's kind of weird. So I decided to buy a couple of other manga that I've read, like the first volume of Noragami, which I have volumes 6 and 7. So why not buy volume 1? Huh? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, what did I buy besides that? I mean, I bought 4. Oh yeah, I bought Kagaster, which is a manga that has not come out in the US, and I looked for scanlations. Turns out I also searched the archive of 4chan. Turns out the only time it's been talked about is in the, hey, what do you want us to scanlate? Where it's a webcomic, a self-published webcomic, which is probably why it didn't come out in the US. Because, let's face it, the US don't have a very thriving manga industry market compared to France, which has, shall I remind you, the second market in the world, and the first market being Japan. Obviously, because in France you can buy translated hentai. I've seen a website. I wouldn't want to buy hentai in a bookstore, at least not a very professional, franchised bookstore. But there's also, I think there's one in my town where you can buy doujins, and I found that very strange. But also it's a very cool thing, because you're like, well, there's this thing from the Comiquette of 2 years ago, and it's translated in my language. So, oh boy, that's graphic. Talking about graphic, I read the second volume of Versus Earth. Oh, all right. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but I'm probably going to follow you. I haven't bought it, but yeah. So yeah, Kagaster is about a world where a virus turns people into killing insects. Oh yeah, and the back cover, where is the barcode? There's just the girl with oh boy, that's some cleavage. Boy howdy, it's Nikumi. Yeah. So the other one that I bought apparently is a finished story. Is My Girlfriend is a Fiction. The original title being This Girlfriend is a Fiction. So it's like Kanojo wa Fiction des, something like that. It's pretty much, yeah, what about my wife who becomes real, but in turn she keeps every fucking trait I've assigned her, because she's an OC, and I've assigned her a lot of traits since I was in first grade, and now I'm in high school, and it's pretty much everything in my life You know, from shitty shonen to the edgy part of the Chunibyo, up until, well, 2 weeks ago when I fell in love with the star of the literature club. And so it turns out that she's a pretty powerful yandere who wants to kill the girl that our main character loves, but she doesn't know that it's also a girl that she likes very much. So yeah, there's like 4 volumes for the whole story. Volume 1 has come out 2 months ago. Volume 2 I think has come out recently, like past week, or maybe it's coming out in a couple of weeks. One thing that I really want to start buying, because it's an essential, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Apparently there's been a re-edition of the first 3 parts, because they were edited by one editor who had a partnership with Shueisha. But turns out that this editor suddenly stopped publishing all this, and yeah. So there was no JoJo because the new editor started publishing from the 4th part, which is come on, Phantom Blood is the first. Diamond. I think the 4th part is Diamond is Unbreakable, because Stardust Crusaders is part 3. Steel Ball Run is part 7, something like that. Oh boy, I'm shit at that. But yeah, I want to buy JoJo, but obviously it's gonna cost me a lot. Probably even more than buying the original Gundam series, because I've seen the first the only part where the first volume is available, the only place, it's like 30 euros. What the fuck? It's something as big as that, which is the seraph of the manga. So you know, as thick as that. 30 euros. What are you doing? I know it's 20 years old. Doesn't need to be that expensive, even though it's a very influential series. I want to read the first Gundam series, because there's some stuff that I don't understand about Gundam Last Order, which I probably think is due to the fact that I read Gundam Last Order like 10 years ago, and it was already the 3rd volume or something like that. So obviously I'm not gonna understand a lot, and I probably will understand a little bit more about stuff, and also remember about a lot of stuff while reading the first series, like 9 volumes, so it's kind of a quick read, to be fair. So yeah, anyway, tomorrow I will talk about a little something that I've noticed recently, like when I went to when I got out of my apartment, and I was scratching my head for ideas for tonight's video weblog, because it's not all improv. So yeah, because it's already 23 minutes, I'm not gonna go a lot further. So yeah, thank you for watching. Oh, that was my voice crack. It's worse than Kevin Kelly during the New Year Dash, which was a very good show, even though the Japanese don't have an idea of how it's supposed to work. Like, you cannot advance a storyline during a show. It's to close the show that you do the most hard-hitting thing. I know that the main event was a title match, and the part where you made the storyline advance was not, but it's a choice that you have to do. You cannot kick out AJ Styles from the Bullet Club right smack dab in the middle of the show. That's not how it works. What are you doing? Besides, that was a very good show. I like the Briscoes very much. I don't really follow New Japan, but So I have no idea of who are the heels and who are the faces. I know that obviously Los Ingobernables are heels because there's a guy whose name is Evil. That has to be a huge hint, hasn't it? Yeah, so besides that, I don't really know who are the heels, who are the faces. Like Tanahashi and Okada, they are two dudes with a lot of charisma. The Bullet Club are heels, obviously, but Tanahashi and Okada are dudes with a lot of charisma, and they are bitter rivals to the end. Doesn't seem like one of them is a heel, one of them is the face. Looks like they're more there. They're people. So yeah. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow, and yeah, goodbye. I haven't watched Raw yet. It's Thursday night, and it's like the second week in a row when I haven't watched Raw right on time.